One of the principal problems is this fundamental disconnect that exists between the facilities infrastructure and the IT infrastructure, and the facilities team and the IT team. They don't tend to communicate or cooperate that well.
To cope with that problem, our consortium of universities, energy research centers and data center suppliers proposed the CoolEmAll project. Most of current solutions just takes very rough, very general models, or just focusing only on IT part or facilities part of the data center. What is CoolEmAll about is to more specifically look into the detailed applications or workloads and analyze how they affect the energy efficiency of a data center.
So what's exciting about CoolEmAll is that we are doing something that people outside of the industry would have imagined would have happened a long time ago, i.e. that data centers are optimized for the applications and workloads.
Think of it as a virtual model of a data center. So the model, which is based on a well-defined and easy to replace building blocks. And the key advantage of this model is that you can combine all major aspects that affect the energy efficiency of a data center, which are, of course, cooling systems and IT hardware, but also applications and workloads, which is not always taken into account in the current tools.
So one of the aspects with CoolEmAll is that we want to be able to try and have more kind of predictive management. I mean, at the end of the day, data centers are there to support IT services, applications and workloads. They're not there just to be buildings full of IT and power and cooling.
So it's the first time that you can really analyze the whole data center in terms of energy efficiency, going from the very low levels like single CPUs and specific applications up to the whole cooling infrastructure. So we can get a holistic view of your data center.
There's probably two main users we see for our tools as data center designers and planners, so the people who are brought in to help build a new facility. We also see the tools being useful for data center operators because we will give them intelligence on what the performance of their applications and workloads, how that cascades through the rest of the facility. CoolEmAll's developed a number of tools. The main tool is the Simulation, Visualization and Decision Support Toolkit, the SVD tool, which has, I guess, made up of a number of different components.
The first step is that we have to prepare a model. That's why you have to analyze the applications that are going to be run in the data center. Another model that we need for correct simulations is a model of a hardware, servers, cooling devices. The key advantage of our toolkit is that we are combining the simulations of both the workloads and the IT hardware with cooling systems and the heat transfer in a data center. This is a very complex problem, and to solve it, we need to apply computational fluid dynamics methods called CFD, and we include these simulations in the SVD Toolkit. The final result of the SVD Toolkit is so-called metrics calculator, which provides a set of useful metrics that assess the performance, the energy efficiency, the heat distribution and then temperature distribution of a data center. To get real insight, we provide the 3D tools. And you can find the hotspots, for instance, you can find the inefficiencies in a data center. And what is also important, using various dashboards, you can reconfigure your data center and immediately see the results, how it affects the energy efficiency.
So how CoolEmAll actually may be used by a data center operator, for example, could be around something called capacity management. It's quite a big issue for data centers at the moment. It's probably the issue as far as data center management goes, because essentially you want to try and avoid having to build out new facilities unless it's absolutely necessary, unless there's a good business case for it. The problem is that there's a lot of wasted capacity in terms of the power required by the data center and the cooling required by the data center.
If you have a rack and you have assigned 10 kilowatts of power to this rack, and then you want to put some servers, and if you take just server nameplates power usage, then you can estimate the number of servers as 10 servers, for instance. If you use our toolkit to analyze the real workloads you are using, the specific applications, then you can analyze the servers takes, for instance, 50% of power. So in this case, based on our analysis, you can put 2 times more servers into the rack, which means double capacity.
With CoolEmAll, we can let you understand how well you're using that equipment that you've got in place and wring the maximum efficiencies out of it and hopefully avoid building a new facility.
You can also use our tools to analyze and optimize the layout of racks within the data center. So you can basically move racks from a place to another place and analyze how it influences the airflow, the temperature distribution, looking if you are not causing any hotspots, and finally what is the estimated energy consumption. So in this way you can optimize also the layout of your data center, and you can provide savings even up to 25%.
At the moment there are some tools that will help you understand how rearranging different pieces of equipment could help you to avoid hotspots or lower your cooling requirements. But there is no real tool out there at the moment that lets you understand the role of the applications and workloads within that as well. So we're bringing that extra piece of intelligence into the mix.
So if you are a data center designer or operator, you can even now access our web-based tool and try to define your data center model and try to analyze various options by changing workloads, applications and layouts of racks and see how it affects your energy efficiency.
What's exciting about CoolEmAll is for operators that use our tools, they can end up with a more efficient facility that costs less to build, less to run, and has a lower carbon footprint. So we spent the last 3 years developing these tools, and we just really want people to try them out and use them to improve the design of new facilities and to optimize our existing ones.
The best thing about SVD Toolkit is that it is open source software and this is totally for free, so you can download it and try for your data center.